Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, All That Is. Today, I have a very special show and a familiar face if you have been watching my channel. I would like to welcome my soul sister, my co-host on the Shamanka's show that we have every Thursday, and my dear friend walking this ascension path with me, Shekinah Grace. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Raquel. I'm happy to be here and excited to share today. So, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So today, everybody, we will be talking about a course that Shekinah Grace is going to be offering and guiding us as a teacher beginning September 17th, correct?
Yes.
It's a 13-week course and it is entitled Self-Heal Course in Miracles of the Body, Activations for Deep Healing and Integration. I hope I got that right. I
Yes.
was totally fascinated by this course, and so I'm excited to talk to Shekinah about this and just get to know more about this 13-week course and the potential of how this is going to help us on our individual as well as collective journey on this ascension path. I just want to preface this by saying that I will be personally taking this course as a student. And so I'm so excited to be a student of Shekinah Grace and learning from her and exploring. And so let us get to know more about this. Shekinah, do you want to just give us a bit of an introduction of what the course is all about, what it entails, perhaps how you came up with the material for the course in the first place, and why it is that you called it the Self-Heal Course in Miracles of the Body?
Mm. Well, yeah, I'm so excited to be offering it and for it to have come together in the way that I've been able to present it finally now, because it's been a journey, like a download that took place in 2021 when all of the world was faced with an interesting choice. So,
Yes.
I'll just say that. And so the download was like I kept getting this inspiration and desire to move myself through very detailed scans of the biology and the physical body and get to know it so intimately, because I'll say first that I've always had this seed of knowing, this seed of awareness that we can heal ourselves. And that really came online for me as like a devotion, as a discipline, as a dedication, I would say in 2002. But then it really got heightened in terms of like this you can't it was like I wasn't allowed to ignore that knowing in 2011. And then from 2011 until now, it has been a very devoted and quite serious and focused and concentrated path that I've been on and journey that I've been on of self healing and just really trusting and pursuing my own path, independent of the opinions of other people, independent of the establishments, independent of the society, the overculture. And so went through all those phases and stages of feeling quite lonely to begin with, doubting myself because it seemed so in contrast to the narrative or to the external world, to what we're supposed to do, which is book our doctor's appointments yearly and our eye appointments and our dentist appointments and all of there's so many things that we just adopt and do without really questioning. And yeah, so that's where it started. But then when of course we were faced with this choice in 2020 and 2021, and even in 2019, I was saying to my husband, I said, it's on. We have to be fully on now. Like it's like a 24/7 job to be embodied in our spirituality, to understand our soul, to know ourselves, and to be true to ourselves. And I just kept saying that and I just really felt that. And then 2020 happened and 2021, it was like, okay, no more fooling around. Don't waste your time. It's time to land and really understand what is the miracle that this is, because I've always believed it. And yeah, so that's where it started as a seed. And I just worked with Robert. I worked with myself. Robert's my husband. And then it integrated and kind of percolated. And I went through other courses in leadership because I'm also someone who is a bit shy and I haven't really felt comfortable and confident, I would say, to bring out my authentic truth and my authentic knowing and my authentic gifts and skills that I do inherently have as a gnosis in my body of wisdom, in this body of knowledge that I came in with. And so it's been a journey. I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, but I don't have a voice. I don't feel comfortable in sharing it publicly. How will I get it out to people? How will I offer it? Just with centeredness, without fear, essentially. So then I had to move through those initiations until about a year ago. Then offered it to clients. So then I moved through the one-on-one journey, and that was really profound because it continued to inform the process. It continued to refine each module and give so much information through this spiritual technology, through this divine human template, through this it's everything is so encoded here, and that was the purpose. The intention is to access the original inherent divine codes. um, each and every part of our body is designed by God to support our ascension. And I knew that. And so just having that really clear and focused intention, and then opening up the field of the quantum to receive and retrieve information that is transferable, that is transmissible through, it's like, what was God thinking when he designed this being? And so much universal knowledge, information came through about each and every body part and each and every body system. And so it was through that self reflective experience of working one on one with someone, that so much more was confirmed, affirmed, and learned and realized through that shared exchange. It was really beautiful. And so after that one on one experience, I thought, okay, now the next stage is to open it up to a group where I can guide and lead, because the first one on one experience was a lot of me tuning in and doing a lot of the psychic surgery, so to speak, and getting the information and then sharing it with my client, and then we would do follow up calls and integrate that. But I ultimately believe that we all have to learn these skills for ourselves, and I don't necessarily always want to be the one reading somebody and then giving them information. I want them to access their own information. And so now this is where we're at. I will be guiding a group through the process of moving through 13 body systems. And we thoroughly scan and meditate. There's a scanning process that I teach, and I guide it in such a way that supports people retrieving their own Akashic records, their own memories, their own potentially traumas or things that are lodged or stuck in the cells of the body that can be cleared and healed. And so this is what I want to offer. I want to offer the how to do it for yourself. And then there's a bit of a bonus where we can work one on one together. And I will still support in the original style of maybe offering some healing and then doing the one on one mentorship of how to integrate and land that. Um, so that's the additional support where it gets really more personal, and and there is that one-on-one support. But overall, we're going to move through the 13 body systems over 13 weeks and do this meditation to really understand this and reclaim the sovereignty of our biology, the sovereignty of our anatomy, of our mind, our heart, like on all levels. All levels, because what I'm learning is that ascension happens through the body. And if we're not in our body is when we get hijacked. Okay. And I have experience, I've moved through all those initiations in the metaphysical, esoteric, spiritual warfare, experiences where I really only experienced fear or unsafety or insecurity when I wasn't fully in my body and feeling grounded and anchored. And so, what we're doing, the goal, it sounds so simple, but it is a process of bringing this into every cell, atom, and molecule and space within your being. We're anchoring unconditional divine love into the body, we're embedding it into the body and into the earth. And what this does is it starts to create the environment of your vessel, it create the environment of your temple that the Holy Spirit fully wants to come in, illuminate and land, and all soul fragments, all parts of us that are traumatized, wounded, or scattered throughout lifetimes, then fully we can bring back that wholeness. Because in my experience, I think love can only be whole. So if we're still not feeling whole, then we're not in the love frequency quite yet. And I think the first correction that humanity needs to make to be sovereign is to love the body. That's the first correction. And then the second correction is love the contrast and stop fighting in this dualistic consciousness. And, from there, then we get so much because now we're able to access the codes, the records, our own Akashic field that is inscripted and into our spine, into our crystalline matrix. And then from there, oh, so much can happen. It's both quantum and very much honoring of the human journey, your humanity, lineage, legacy, the beauty of being connected to this planet, the beauty of being part of the human race. So, yep. And um, I think it's really important. We're talking so much about ascension these days, but what I'm also learning and practicing in my life and understanding um, very powerfully is that we must descend first. We must fully land. Our soul spirit must fully integrate and land inside the body before we can ascend. So, because what goes down then must come up. And if we're only stopping half, like here with this, with the soul integration or in the solar plexus, and we're not going all the way down into the roots, then we get recycled. We have to keep coming back. So, this is about ending that cycle, reaching a point of completion where we can say it is complete. It is done, it is done, it is done, it is finished. And we're no longer subjected to this feeling of enslavement and not having choice in our earthly experience, in our human experience. And I believe that's what Jesus was modeling for us, and that the possibility of us taking the body with us through the ascension and not leaving any remnants here on this planet, that's the resurrection. But first we must transfigure all that is muddied and all that is darkened or hidden from us. And there's like an as without so within, as within so without reflection there. So this is a journey that is exciting and educational. It gives you, in my experience, that one of the most powerful tools that you can use to remain empowered in your journey and not feel victimized by anything that comes into your field to hijack you, to depress you, to mind control you. It's such a sovereign, universal code and process that you get to learn and to understand this phenomenal body and mind. And then, yeah, you're sovereign and you're free. And but it's yeah. So I don't know. I'll stop there for now.
No, I love it. I love your passion. It's truly a beautiful subject, right? And if you've delved so deeply into it, it just becomes a passionate subject, right? And just from hearing you speak about it, I can see that excitement in your body language, in your voice, and in just your demeanor, right? So it's really quite beautiful. Wow, you've touched on so many things now. I'm not quite sure which direction to go, but I'll say this, it makes a lot of sense to me for us to cleanse from the cellular level onwards, just to be that completely cleansed body in order to get to that heightened state of that ascension. Like you said, it's a popular subject right now, and it seems to be on everybody's mind at the moment. Although a lot of people are still in the dark and are still not, understanding what's really going on. So, to speak to that, I'm just curious, how or who do you think is your target audience?
Right. That's a really good question. So, Spirit has been communicating that to me today, actually. And, I just suddenly found myself asking God to just send the people that can be and anchor that light, that are really truly committed to healing, that are really truly committed to sovereignty, because that is also a trend word, the sovereignty, ascension. I mean, when they become a trend, it means that humanity is tapping into the seed of what that means, as like there's so much to unpack within that one
Yeah.
seed. But
And there could be a hijacking within that too, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, like, I'm a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, like, I'm a very watery, like, emotional intelligence type, being, but I also have, like, this stellium of planets all in the same, like, a very concentrated chart, and so I'm so thorough, and I think it's the thoroughness and the discipline that our culture lacks because it's such a distracted world. Like, this, I'm asking for commitment, and it's
Mhm.
not for me, because if it's only a half-assed job, you won't get to feel how am exuding, like, my excitement about it, because it works, it's transformative and it helps. It's like the feeling was, it's like, God, just send those who will take this and fully land with it and use it. So, and it's almost like I just see, um, those who want to transfigure, those who want to truly transform. And it will be like enlightening and joyful, and it could bring up some stuff. But this process helps you develop also the witness state and the observer state. And so
Mhm.
anything that starts to come up, there's also, it's not so scary when you can become the compassionate witness of your own experience, which I help to prepare people to be able to witness their emotional body without getting like totally grabbed and sucked down into it and not knowing how to come back out of it. And
Yeah.
so, like, to share a little bit about, so I would say the people that will be really useful for is if you're already a healer or a light worker or a wayshower or a teacher, and you want to bring in more body awareness, more, and even in your own practice, but then to integrate this knowledge and this awareness into your work that you do with clients or with your audience, because it's for everyone. It's for all levels, because I can create an environment where it can work with any and all levels. And I would also say it's also very advanced, um, because if you're already on this journey, then it can become something that you also transmit and transfer into your offerings and how you work with others. I think it will serve leadership, like embodied spiritual leadership. It will serve a heart centered way to start to lead that doesn't get sabotaged by the negative spirits or the ego that comes in. So it cleanses a lot of this out of the system as well, so that you can just be in your pillar of light, and from more of a zero point or neutral state, become an observer, a witness, but you're on fire with the Holy Spirit, because that's what we're doing. We're we're becoming light beings, and this 13-week journey will introduce the method, and it will move through the whole body in as much
Yeah.
detail as we possibly can, but it's something that you repeat. You keep doing it. It's like as practical nowadays as, like, knowing what the weather is outside and dressing appropriately. Like, It's so I would say the best candidates are those who would, you know, be fully committed, and who it it could also serve people who have no connection to their body, you know? I think that's really important as well, and so that's where it could be more of a beginner introduction because
Yeah, I feel it's a good introduction as well. Even if somebody's just coming in fresh off not knowing what ascension is, I think that would be a great takeoff point because you're going and you're starting, it's almost like starting with a clean slate, right? Like I'm just doing this as a reflection of my own path. Like if I had encountered you during like perhaps the beginning of I would say 2005 is when I started to first engage and like, feel myself, myself around what the ascension was all about. I would have loved to have encountered something like this, and just get it from right from the get-go, like start at the very base level and discover everything from that initial perspective, if you will. Like even if you don't understand your own innate gifts or your own body, I think this would be a great jumping off point, even from that perspective, right?
absolutely.
Because you're integrating both the body and the spirit in this course right from the get go. Isn't that true?
Yes. Yes, thank you. You're helping me find the articulation. I think so it's for people who are committed. I would say that much.
Yeah.
Finish the journey. If you start it, finish it, you know? And you will be supported through that by both myself and Raquel. We will be here to support you in anything that comes up because it's such a universal technique. And I'm just a guide to guide you through what you already have as information, and you will access information. And so, even if you're beginner or you're not quite connected in or feel that intimate relationship with your own body temple, you will develop that, and you will
Hmm.
be blown away by the information that comes through, and it will so what it does is it helps develop your psychic gifts and abilities, your
Yeah.
intuitive development. It will eradicate fear in many ways because when you know your body, no nothing can really harm you or influence you when you know your body is so freaking like it's like such a barometer of truth. And so you will just get the sensation, and I'll teach you how to tune into that and be aware of the sensation of your pinky toenail while simultaneously being aware of what you're listening to and observing. And it's like you develop that omniscient, more total awareness, and you don't get thrown off your center as much when you learn these techniques. And then you
Hmm.
start to trust your body. And so, even people who are struggling with illness or some kind of sickness or cancer, or like, there's no claims here that it will cure or, heal, because this is your job of tuning into how to turn that technology on for yourself.
Hmm.
Because that's what it is. Like, you have to decide, you have to consent. I'm turning on my self-healing ability and capacity to heal myself. I'm turning on the God codes. I'm turning on the original. I'm tuning in. I'm consenting to learning what this original template was designed to do and how it is designed to support me. So that's your consent and your commitment and follow through that will activate that for you. And that's why I want this to be more of like not me healing as much as you understanding how you can turn that on for yourself. And I definitely talk about God a lot. So it's for people who are open to that and this style of languaging, because it's God and it's
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit fire and the God flame that actually does the purification and the healing and the miracle work.
Hmm.
So that's important that you feel comfortable with that kind of languaging. And yeah, so it's for everyone as long as you're committed. So I would say if anyone's listening to this or considering signing up, the first invitation and the first initiation to letting your body decide is to feel if this is if it resonates. And if you say yes to this journey, it's got to be a yes mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like, just check in. My mind says yes, sounds great. Yeah. Emotionally, oh, I feel a little bit of fear, but that might be an indicator that this might be something that I need to do. Okay. How does my words and how does the description, if you go to the website, how does that land in your body? Is there any kind of resonance or thread of truth for you there? Then that's probably getting closer to like a confirmed and committed yes. So that's important because sometimes we sign up for things because it just sounds good, but we haven't really just sat with that or asked our body if we're ready for that journey. So that would be important. And there's no judgment if we make a decision and change our mind later. It's
Mhm.
just commitment. We lack commitment and we lack this level of focus in our society. So, beyond knowing your body and accessing information and gifts and messages from even ancestors can come through. Like it can be as practical as understanding I need to change my diet or I need exercise or I need to do this thing for my liver to like, oh my God, my liver, all my ancestors came through my liver and showed me all the reasons why I'm so angry. So, you know, like it's all it's the
Oh, I
continuum.
foresee many books being written about this, Shekinah. Yeah, it's such a beautiful exploration, right? And it's a very personal journey. I'm just, as you're speaking, it's like I'm just reflecting back on what's happened in my past as well. Like if you can see behind me, the two books I've written and the course, as you know, that came through as a transmission for me as well. And it's like boom, 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 boom. It's all personal experiences, even though this energy came through as a divine message, but it's speaking through your body and your own experience, which is how the creator experiences itself, right? Through
Yeah.
our body, through our physical evolution, through our experience, right? And so, this technology, as you call it, is that experiential energy of the creator experiencing through each one of us. And that perception is so different for each one. And so your experience is very different from what I will be experiencing, and what I see is very different from what you see. And so we have all these different lenses of seeing the same concept, if you will,
Yeah.
but experiencing it in vastly, vastly different ways, right? And like you correctly said, it could be it's just infinite, right? The way we can experience it, right? So and that just brought to mind, like even through my own sessions with clients, like people say to me, like, how can I tune into Yeshua or Mary Magdalene? It's like I cannot tell you that through my own way, like through my own way of doing it, right? Like you said, it's almost like you have to switch it on within your own body, within your own expression, and say, yes, I'm open to this experience. Just show me how to experience that in my body, and it will happen, right? It just needs to come from you and from your um, expression of saying yes and giving that confirmation, if you will, and opening yourself up to that experience, that it will happen within your own body and within your own soul. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. And so when you
Yeah.
talked about the one-on-one journey, what kind of feedback did you get from your clients when you had the one-on-one experience with them?
Well, we checked in every week, and so I would do the healing session remotely,
Hmm.
and it wasn't over a call. It was just me tuning in and being guided where the healing needed to take place based on what body system we were doing at the time. And then I would leave 3 days integration, 72 hours, and then I would also send a written report of what came through, and then she would have time over that 72 hours to integrate that information and see how it landed for her. And then we would have a follow up call. And so every week was different. But I, you know, I would get feedback that she felt what was taking place in in the time or in the exact moment. She was a because it was we weren't on a call. She was able to sense and feel and understand what parts of her body were shifting and changing. And then when I would meet on the call with her, I would take that information and weave it into a guided meditation so that it became her own process. So, um A lot of the feedback was how much her external world and her relationship with the external reality was shifting and changing. So
Okay.
as she was coming into, and if let's say like there was some information about how part of the service, the divine function of the lungs, is to help us synthesize contradiction, right? Because the breath comes in as a one breath, and it kind of brings us into that unity consciousness. But there's two lungs and one heart, and so there are universal themes that I was getting as code, like that I think would land for every person that took the journey, but there would be their own unique lesson in that. And that one is kind of popping out in my mind, where there was like a little bit of like a me versus them consciousness that I believe it was the lungs that were representing, and some sadness and some grief. And and then she would express that that was coming through in her experience, and in her life, and she was feeling these things, and then having similar insights as to the information that was coming through the healing session, and then making corrections and starting to question certain things, or maybe always engaging in certain relationships that were taking advantage or no longer serving, or um stuff came through around like mother father line, and then but that also extended up into the galactic story of those mother and father lines. So it went
Mhm.
from like the earthly experience to like, well, how it started to weave itself in and connect into understanding the galactic lineages and any conflicts that were taking place even before the incarnation to earth. Sometimes it was like that, and other times it was just like um, creating ritual as a morning routine to shift from habits that are more addictive. Um,
Okay.
I'd have
That
to
makes
look
sense.
back because
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it was
just wanted to get a flavor of what it felt like in those one-on-one sessions. Um,
yeah,
so based on that, you are going into a group setting. How do you think that's going to manifest or materialize? Because you're going to be dealing with not just one person, but a group, perhaps.
right. So my intention was to, as purely and as precisely as I possibly could, as a human who like isn't perfect, but to for God to show me the universal themes. And so I have the data and information to loosely guide a group journey where everyone's doing their own process. And so I use not only that information that I got from doing the one-on-one journey through the feedback and the documentation and archiving of all of the details of what came through that process, but also my background in anatomy as a massage therapist since 2005, anatomy, physiology, systems anatomy, medical terminology. Like, I have a strong background in all of this. I also have my sports massage and sports training certificate. And I have an entire a lifetime of dance, of yoga. So this informs my ability to help people navigate their physicality and their physical vessel. Um, so it's basically like I'll intuitively understand. I'm going to tune into the protocols. We'll start with certain protocols that unite us and that help us to ground and to come together, and I'll introduce the topic. I might even show like pictures of the system that we're working with, like let's say we're working with the respiratory system, then we'll take a look at the lungs and just get an impression of that. So maybe for some people that don't visualize as easily, we'll have that impression. We might do some somatic touching to get us connected in, and then I'll just go into a guided shamanic journey basically. into the body, which you'll follow, which will be guided by the breath. We'll call in our higher self, Holy Spirit. We'll call in the presence of the eternal creator, Mother and Father God's source. We bring in Mother Earth and the Schumann resonance to help really anchor and ground. And it's just this guided process. And then we'll save some time at the end for a little bit of sharing. Um, if anyone wants to share. And then after each call, I'll send out a group email with self reflections or journal prompts or something to just help you continue to process your experience and integrate that down, and think about it for the week. And so that's how the group process will go. It's like, it will have an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony, and the in between, the bulk of it and the juiciness of it is basically you with you in your own self communion with your own body and God, to scan and work through each body system, and to get retrieve information, and you might even choose to journal it down. I'll probably encourage people to do that afterwards.
Yeah.
And then the one-on-one mentorship calls that I'm including. Now they can be scheduled at any point. Let's say we get to a certain body system and the stuff is coming up, then that might be a time to connect with me on email and say I'd like to book my first mentorship call or my first like one-on-one healing. And then that's where I can come in and support you on more of a personal level with anything that's going on for you personally. Or if you would even just want a little bit additional guidance or
And how many of the personal sessions do you offer?
5.
5.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Shall we segue into viewing the website just so people can have a look at what the website looks like, and then we can go through each of those modules?
sure.
Yeah, that's really, really exciting. I'm so looking forward to this. There's so much to unpack here, and it's really got me going. Are you seeing that, Shakina?
I can't see it yet. Oh, yeah. Yay.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the website, folks. I will share the link in the description and give you more information about how to sign up and connect with Shekinah. But this is what the website looks like. It's mysticmountain.ca. Um, and it's a 13-week course starting in September 17th to December the 10th. And you're offering a 3 monthly payment of 369 or a one-time payment of 1,008.
Mhm.
And
And
do you want me to?
I just wanted to highlight that the you know, because Raquel and I are putting a lot of energy and devotion into planning and preparing for this. Raquel's supporting me on the tech end of things, and she's such like she's a teacher for me, and so we're really she's moving through this journey, and I'm the guide here, but ultimately, she's a huge support as well. So I just wanted to say that. And the reason I'm saying that is because we do need, like, I'm not great at setting deadlines because last minute registrations, I'm pretty open to anyone deciding last minute to join, but we do a lot to plan and prepare. And so we need to understand the numbers by no later than September 7th. So if you're thinking about joining, I just wanted to mention that. And then I also wanted to mention, if money's an issue, please contact me directly because I might be able to do something to help you out there.
Okay, perfect. And as you mentioned, there's 5 personal one-on-one sessions, 5 email summaries, and 5 personal follow-up check-in calls for the entire course, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about this introductory page?
Um, no, not really. Another, I think, relevant and important thing to mention is the relevancy of this course and the timing of it when we're facing kind of a situation in our world we're not this is unprecedented, where we're seeing a lot the rise of artificial intelligence and the rise of artificial frequencies interfering with people's health and biology. And so to feel utterly sovereign on that biological level uh, may sound extreme and dramatic, but it really ensures that the human stays organic and that
Absolutely.
the soul remains. Um, this is how essential this feels, and I say that because it's like it's not my course. It's God's design. It's human. It's organic. It's we've never really placed emphasis on the importance of the soul. Not even religions have done this very well to explain what a soul is and what this process of ascension is. The Catholic Church hyper focused on the crucifixion and the wounding
Yes.
and the pain and the trauma.
Well, it's an ugly cycle, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is what's at stake. What's happening right now is um, synthetic intelligence, artificial intelligence replacing organic human intelligence, and essentially capping off our connection to God directly.
Yeah.
So that is the depth and breadth and level that you can take this. And like I said, if you just want to know your body and feel more with your own energy, understanding yourself, know thyself, and to thine own self be true. If you want the permission to do that, finally,
Mhm.
then this might be a really beautiful course for you because I was dancing around today. I said to Robert, how did the song go? It felt like a little jingle for the commercial for this course. It was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm here to pump you up with the Holy Spirit.
Well, you gotta send me the demo tape and I'll attach it to the video.
Yeah, yeah, we're designed to feel alive,
And joyful,
and
yeah. You don't
joyful.
see that a lot anymore, right? And you're so right in saying, in talking about that hijacking of our body and our sovereignty by the AI. It's become so prevalent now in everything we do. It's just there in your face. It's unashamedly claiming, so much of our lives. And it's just, yeah, it's incredible how much we depend on it. It's like, thinking back, a few years where Google and the internet were nowhere to be seen, right? How did we live our lives without the internet and without Google, right? And so,
Mm,
in a way, it's like 10 years now from now, or 15 years from now, we'll probably be sitting in our living room with a couple of robots and we'll say, how did we manage before this without this robot? I hope not, but that's the trajectory right now of where we are going. So I
I love
think
that you
this,
mentioned yeah. I
I
love that you
like,
mentioned Google because I wrote,
yeah,
I think in one of the description or it's in there, I'm like, "It's
yes.
time to Google ourselves," right? For the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think this course is very, very timely, and I'm so excited to be a part of this journey with you, Shakina. And
Mm.
yeah, so if you want to take us through each of these modules, I've got module 1 up here, which says cardiovascular system healing chamber.
Yep. So the way this first came like in my vision and the way it unfolded in the one-on-one journey was it was like each week we created a container. It's basically a healing container, but it felt like a healing chamber because we do work with sound and we work with geometry as well. And I guide you in all that. And at the same time, you'll get your own geometries and your own sound that comes. Um, and I mean, I could go through each one. Basically, each week is the same, but we have a focus. We have a new
Okay.
focus for each week.
Just want to mention something for the audience. Now, this is a package deal of the 13 courses. You can take them individually as well. Is that correct?
Yes, if people want to book a
So you have the
one-on-one,
option as well. Yeah.
yeah, a one-on-one session, they can do that. And it is a session, but it's also like a workshop because it's so in depth and detailed, and it has that educational component because my goal is to educate. I think I've always had that. Like I could never just give a massage even as a massage therapist without providing education. In fact, I always struggled keeping clients over a long period of time because I would tell them that they don't need me to heal. So it was kind of like the opposite of what you want if you're trying to make money. um, but it's yeah. So it's really important to me that you feel empowered with the tool or the method,
Mhm.
and you feel invited to be curious about your body and like it's an adventure. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the most fascinating adventure. We want to have a different experience of our bodies because a lot of people feel like their body's the enemy or it's working against them, or oh, my body is causing me trouble. You know how many
Yeah.
times we hear that kind of languaging, and like I said, the first correction is to love the body.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I love
so
it. I love it. I love the beauty of this website as well. You've done a great job in creating each of these modules. So
thank
well
you.
done. Yeah. So yeah, the first one is the cardiovascular system. The second module is the nervous system. The third is respiratory. The fourth is the digestive. The fifth is lymphatic, and then we have the skeletal. And seventh is the muscular system, and then we have the
Integumentary system, so that's like the skin, like the
okay
yep.
integumentary system. I learned a new word today. The endocrine system, the reproductive system, the renal system, the immune system, and the sensory system. Wow, that's a lot. I'm sure going to learn something from this, from the perspective of my body, because that has been my challenge as well. And I think I've mentioned this to you before that I've struggled with my root chakra, and
Mhm.
so that has been my struggle in aligning my body and my spirit within this whole energetic system. So yeah, I would love to explore this with you in depth and just correct my own body as well as we move through this process. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm really, really excited to go through this course with you. Was there any closing comments that you wanted to give a shout out to somebody that might be interested in signing up?
Um, no, I feel so grateful to you, Raquel, for supporting me on this journey as well, because everything we do becomes an initiation where we want it to be. You know, if we're ready for a next level or a leap of faith to expand and to know more of ourselves and receive more of ourselves, this is such a gift to me to have you along the journey and by my side. And I think it's going to just make it that much more powerful. um, I invite anyone and everyone, all levels of understanding, wherever you are on your journey. We all have a body, we all can breathe, we all can feel sensation. This is a universal container. Everyone is welcome, no one is left out. The only thing I would ask is that if you're considering it, to feel the integration of your yes on all levels. Your mind is a yes, your emotional body is a yes, your physical body is a yes, and your spiritual self is a yes. And then it's like, then you're giving consent to get the most out of this journey for you,
Yeah.
because the information you're getting is for you. You can share it or not share it. But this is the true authentic records. This is the true authentic information. The true authentic Google is you.
Hmm.
And then we can exchange information through each other's records.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
what was told to us and distorted or changed or bastardized. you know, out of its true meaning.
Hmm.
We hold the records, we hold the keys to our heaven on earth experience,
Yeah.
right? We are the golden key.
Yeah.
And so, whether you share the information you retrieve from your body of knowledge, your body of wisdom, your book of love, your body of gnosis, your body of light, your body of God, Whether you share that or not is up to you, but the point is that you will know that you can access your own information, and then no more misinformation, no more
Mhm.
getting confused outside of yourself. Then we can really exchange from a heart-based frequency of love and truth and learn the true history of Earth and humanity and reclaim it. So that's the only prerequisite, is that if you're a yes, you're a full yes.
Well said, well said. I'm a full yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so beautiful. And
Mhm.
there is a strength in doing it together too. I feel that as we, explore each other's experiences, we are building community as well, and just you and me and, the Shekinah Ma working together has demonstrated that. We have taken strength from each other. We've explored that connection together, and we've developed this camaraderie within us, our circle, right? And it's so beautiful to see it unfolding. And so my hope is that this community expands, right? And
Mm,
that more and more people find it within themselves to explore this journey, not only for themselves, but for the collective as well. Because as you stand within your own light, you're reflecting that into the collective. And
yeah,
so, how beautiful is that, right? Um, so,
nothing more
yes,
beautiful.
yes, thank you so much for introducing this course to us. And I'm sure that we will have a lot of interest. And I hope that my channel opens up that interest to have these people come into your life as well and explore this journey with you, with us, as we walk this 13-week together. I think it's a perfect time to be doing it as well as we step into those colder months for us here in Canada.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like having that downtime within our reality, but also going within to explore these potentials within our heart, within our mind, within our body, and spiritually as well.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about your health, I mean, you will get answers. You will
Yeah,
get instruction sets.
yeah,
Your kidneys will give you instructions, and it's up to you to follow through on that.
yeah,
But you don't need to Google it. Just ask your kidneys what they need as an example. So you
yeah,
will have so much to work with through the winter months and to get yourself back on the track of health integrity and sovereignty energetically. And then I love you shared something that made me think of this is a really important point, Raquel, is that we are one body. From a spiritual higher perspective, we are part of the one body of humanity. So we're like
yeah,
cells within the one body. And so when you do work in a group, it is profound, it is quantum. The healing that happens for me takes place simultaneously for Raquel and vice versa, and everyone involved. And so it's like if I'm called to focus on cleaning my blood and the circulatory system, well, that work in me is supporting your circulatory system. And we get to experience that in real time. Now, I've been a part of enough containers, group containers, the Shamankas being one, and our Trinity and community that's building around that podcast and the grid work missions. But I've also been part of others where you feel the miracles taking place in real time. And this isn't about miracle worship or anything outside. It's like the miracle of yourself as a daughter or son of God. That
mm,
is the miracle that you get to witness and experience. And it's like we all activate and support each other. So I'm really, really excited to experience this as a group experience. And yeah, we hope you'll join us.
yes,
So
yes,
thank
yes. It
you.
is my hope as well. Thank you so much, Shakina, and thank you for this offering, this beautiful, beautiful offering that I'm so happy to receive because I know it's coming from the deepest, deepest emotion of your heart, right? And so I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So
Mm,
thank you everybody for tuning in. I do hope you connect with Shakina. As I said earlier, I will put all the information in the description, and we'll take it from there.
beautiful. Thank
Have
you,
a
Raquel.
great day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.